If I started learning English from nothing, this is what I would do. Hi everyone, welcome to English with Aga. In this video, I want to give you some advice on what you could do to take your English to the next level. So I'm going to share with you 7 things I would personally do if I didn't speak English and if I were to start from scratch. But before we start, make sure you download your free step-by-step guide to learning English from the video description. And leave me a comment. Tell me, why are you learning English? I'm really interested to find out. Okay, let's move on to my advice. The first thing I would do if I started learning English from scratch is I would have very clear vocabulary goals. So I would have specific goals for exactly how many words I want to learn each week and each month. If you think about it, learning English or learning any other foreign language is about building your vocabulary and learning how these words work together. So vocabulary really is the foundation of English, and that's why it's important to have a goal related to vocabulary, even if it's just a small goal. So maybe for you it's only 5 words every week, but even if you only learn 5 words per week, that's actually almost 25 words each month. If you want to be even more specific about your goals, you can have separate goals relating to different types of words. For example, you can have a goal about how many verbs you want to learn every week and every month, how many adjectives. The second thing I would definitely do if I were to learn English from the beginner level is always learn collocations. Collocations are combinations of words that always go together and that sound natural together. For example, when we say something is incredibly expensive, that's a collocation. Incredibly expensive. These words sound natural together. We say to take a shower and not to do a shower, for example. Again, that is a collocation. Why is this important? It's important because when you speak English, you want to sound natural. You don't just want people to understand you, but you actually want everything you say to sound natural. And learning collocations helps you do that. It helps you improve your speaking as well, because you begin to understand how to build phrases and then how to build sentences that actually make sense. So how do you learn collocations? Every time you learn a new word, look it up in a collocations dictionary online. And there will be lots of free dictionaries like that, where you can check different collocations relating to each word in English. So write down 2 new collocations and also examples of sentences that use that collocation. Write them down in a notebook, and then when you're revising, when you're learning the words, learn the collocations and practice saying the sentences as well. And then try to make your own sentences using that collocation. Tip number 3, I would prioritize learning phrasal verbs. Native speakers use phrasal verbs all the time, pretty much in every conversation. So if you don't understand phrasal verbs, then you will struggle to understand the meaning of a conversation. There might be things that you miss. So I definitely recommend that when you set your vocabulary goals, include some phrasal verbs as well. And one great way to learn phrasal verbs is to sign up for my English grammar membership, which includes 2 video courses about phrasal verbs Each of them teaches you 100 phrasal verbs. So you will learn 200 phrasal verbs in total. The link to the membership is in the video description and you can get a special discount on it as well. So make sure you check it out. The next thing I would do if I was learning English from scratch is, instead of learning lots of individual nouns, I would practice describing things without knowing the actual word. So let me give you an example. If you need the word bread bin, you don't necessarily need to know exactly what it's called in English, but you need to know how to explain what it is so that somebody can understand you. So often when you're speaking English, there will be some words that you don't know, but the real skill you need is to explain what you mean without using the actual word. So how do you describe a bread bin? Well, it's a container or a box where you can keep your bread. You know what I mean, right? So being fluent in English is not exactly about knowing every single word. It's about being able to communicate. And if you know how to explain things, how to describe things, that is the real definition of fluency. Okay, the next one, reading children's books. If I started learning English from nothing, I would definitely read a lot of children's books. This is how children learn their native language, by reading stories and little books with short sentences and basic vocabulary. So let's learn something from children and use the same books that they use to learn English as a foreign language. And the next one is very important as well, speaking to yourself. So if I started learning English from scratch, I would try and practice speaking every single day, even if I had nobody to talk to. So there are lots of ways you can do this. For example, at the end of each day, you can sit down and talk to yourself about your day for 5 minutes. What did you do? Where did you go? Who did you speak to? You can also just walk around your flat or a local park and describe what you can see. If you feel embarrassed about it, you can just do it in your head. So take every opportunity to practice speaking, even if it's just talking to yourself. And the final thing I would do is learn English grammar. So the main thing is to learn tenses, because tenses give you a very good foundation. If you want to learn more about grammar, then I recommend my English grammar membership. I've included a special discount link in the description, so check it out. I hope you found this video useful. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and I'll see you next time. Bye!